Om Shanti. In today's Murli, Baba is talking about we being a Vanprasthi. So Baba says that even if the soul is in a body which is very young or still a child's body or an adult's body or an old aged body, but every soul is in the stage of retirement, Vanprasth, because we all have come to our last stage of this cycle. So Baba says you must pay attention to three things in this age of retirement. First thing is you remember Baba. Second thing is you become pure. And third is finish all your accounts. Now, there are karmic settlements which are due and they will keep coming up and we have to finish them. So, I was just thinking, today in Amrit Vela that Baba says that we are all in our age of retirement. Now just visualize a scene where you are in a room and then you are with someone, talking to someone, and then there are souls with bodies of different ages in that room. So sometimes we are not even aware that these are souls. So if there are children running around, you don't even think they are souls and they matter. So you only think that this one is listening, this adult sitting there is listening, or those other people, the aged ones, they are listening to the conversation, but you don't even recognize that these are souls. Or if a little child is sleeping in the same room, you don't think that this child is also receiving the conversation or the vibration. And it is so much, so we have this deep bias. We have so much of body consciousness that in a room we don't even recognize that these children and these infant, that is a soul. And when we are talking, we think that only the adults are listening, and we don't take care to even recognize that my conversation is being overheard by all of these, the infant, the little child. And then another thing is the vibration. So I'm a soul and I'm not just talking, I'm creating an atmosphere through my thoughts, my words, my vibration in general. And how much am I aware about the vibration I'm creating while doing any act? For example, if I'm thinking critically about somebody, I'm having thoughts of criticism about somebody, then although they are going on in my mind, they are spoiling the atmosphere around me. And the atmosphere is getting heavy. And everyone, every soul, even if it's in an infant's body, they are receiving that vibration. So I think that self-awareness is a very deep subject. And if you recall your childhood memories, you would know that you were very aware as a child. And you remember many conversations from childhood, and you remember most of the things from childhood which other people thought you're not aware of. And then also, also psychology says that the vibration in which you grow has a huge impact, and up to 3.5 years of age, the atmosphere of the house and the behaviors of those around you, they shape your personality. So we don't so we are very body conscious, and then we don't think they are souls also, so that kind of awareness is very lacking. And then Baba today says that every soul has to go back home now. So it is every soul, and Baba says that you have to do your preparation, and every soul has to go back. So we also have a responsibility towards creating some method which helps every soul transition into, going back to home. Now there are many I always face this challenge in the center that, parents come and they say that you give the course to my child, and then the child is 5-year-old or 4-year-old and say 6-year-old, and then they don't really understand this language. So the language in which we speak Gyan, that is very difficult for them to understand. But they also understand if you ask a child, do you feel angry, they don't say no these days. And even if you ask if you're stressed, they say yes, I'm stressed also. And then they say I have my homework and I have so much to do, and they also have their own problems. But we always suggest parents that you learn the Gyan, and then in your day-to-day conversations and in the atmosphere that you create at home, make it a powerful atmosphere. Let your conversations be full of crux and essence. So, and when you reform your behavior around them, they will also receive that. But parents say, no, my child has a problem, I don't have a problem. So I don't want to do the course, you teach the child. But that's not how it works. And I will tell you one particular incident. We conducted a camp for children. It was a 3-day camp, and then there were around 65 children who attended that camp. And after those 3 days, on the 4th day, we invited parents to attend one session after the camp, and only 2 parents turned up. So 65 children were sent, but only 2 parents they turned up, and that also one came as a couple, and then another one mother came. That's all. So this is something. So Baba says that you have to prepare everybody to go back also, and prepare yourself to go back. But how do you prepare everybody? So when the question of these souls come up, the souls who are in bodies that are very young and infant bodies, we must create an atmosphere where they receive that purity, that peace, and the soul is in that state of purity and peace which is required to go back. So that is very important. So I just had this thought in Amrit Vela, so I shared. And then now, today Baba says that you must also think about the fact that excuse me. So you must also think about the fact that this is your stage of retirement. In Hindi it is called Vanprasth. And Baba says you have to go back home. So you pay attention to first your purity. Yes. Now, in the soul world, we cannot go back if we are impure. So, impure, if somebody is engaging in lust, then obviously the attachment to body is too much, and then there cannot be smooth transition out of the body. So Baba says, pay attention to purity. And Baba gives a very good yukti today. Baba calls it a yukti, a clever method. So Baba says, if there is a woman and she is not allowed to practice celibacy, and she has some obstacles in that, then she could say that I dreamt, and God in my dreams told me that you must stay pure for some time. So Baba said that you can apply some yukti. And I remember there was this one sister who used to come to the center, and her husband did not agree on purity, and then her husband's business was not going well. So then what happened? She told her husband that God came in my dreams and he said that if you observe purity, then your business would do well. And then that worked. And then what happened is Baba also gave that, that fruit. So Baba made that business work well also. So then the husband slowly, gradually, he agreed to that dharana of purity. And then I will tell you another incident where there was this Mata, and her husband became so upset with her Amrit Vela and this purity that he took away her phone and he locked her room from outside. And he went to sleep in another room and she was locked. And then she said that I was just, in the beginning, initial phases, so I could not get up without an alarm. So I told Baba, you see, I have not missed Amrit Vela since I came to you. So now it is you who has to take the responsibility that I do my Amrit Vela. So then around 2:30, her son got up. Her son was sleeping with the father, and her son got up and he suddenly had the thought that I have to go to Mama. And then he tried her phone. So he tried calling her from her phone. So the phone was switched off. Then he came and then he looked. So every door was closed. So he just, he started banging on the door. And then the father had to come and open the door. So 2:30 she was woken up with this much of drama, and then the husband just folded his hands and said, you do whatever you want to do, and I don't know what is going on. There is something very right or something very wrong about what you're doing, and okay, whatever you're doing, you do. I will not mess with you anymore. So this is something that happened. So Baba says that you must, have this clear, very, concrete intention to stay pure now. Because, in earlier days when people believed that I'm a vanprasthi and I have to leave the body. So these days, people don't even keep their age in awareness. But I remember that there was a time, even during my parents' time, people were very aware about what suits their age, and they used to transition very smoothly into different phases. So in those times, people were very aware that when I am going into retirement, I must withdraw my buddhi from vikar, especially lust. And Baba says that this is something that vanprasthis know. So now you know that as a soul you are a vanprasthi. So what you do is you withdraw your buddhi from these vikar, whether you are in a young body or old doesn't matter. As a soul, you have to prepare for going back, going home. So Baba says you pay a lot of attention to purity. Then second, Baba says, keep remembering Baba and the home. So when you are not doing anything, when you are free, you remember the home. So you become a seed, a soul like a seed, and just sit in your home, just like, you sit in your seed stage in your home. And then in other times when you're working, Baba says, keep working in the remembrance of Baba. Baba says, whether you're cleaning or cooking, do it in the remembrance of Baba. So this is very important. And then Baba today says, finish all your accounts. So now Baba says that if you have some karmic accounts where people are not allowing you to practice what you need to practice, let's say Amrit Vela or purity or anything, or even reading the Murli, if you have some karmic accounts where you don't have freedom, then how do you finish those karmic accounts? So you don't stop making the effort, but you remain very aware that you are in remembrance while making the effort. So, sometimes we think that good karma is very easy. But if we have a lot of sinful account, then good karma becomes a very big challenge. That sinful account will not allow you to do good karma. So Baba says, slowly, gradually increase your remembrance of Baba. And then that remembrance will help you finish that account. I will tell you one incident. There was this brother and he came to me and he told me that I'm into liquor business. And he said that that's what my father gave to me as an inheritance. And I'm not very educated. So I have this feeling, and I'm not telling you this just after Gyan, but I have this deep gnawing feeling inside me that I'm not creating good karma in this liquor business. He told me that I really feel that I'm doing some pap karma and I'm spoiling the habits of people, and this has been occurring to me, but I don't know any better. So what do I do? Should I close down the business and should I just abandon my family because I don't have anything to take care of them apart from this business? So then I told him that, if you have realized this, then if you have the means, stop right away. But if you don't have the means, like you're saying, keep remembering Baba and keep making effort. So, you cannot stop selling liquor, but can you get up at 4? Do that. Can you eat pure food? Do that. Can you remember Baba while doing everything? Do that. And slowly, gradually, your karmic bondage will finish. So do you understand what is a karmic bondage? A karmic bondage is when you are stuck in a circumstance, in a relationship, in a physical or mental condition, or with a sanskar which doesn't allow you to do good karma. That's a karmic bondage. And you understand that this is bad karma. Let's say you are stuck with in a relationship where the other person is very difficult to handle. So they are always, throwing tantrums, shouting, yelling, and you get very hurt and disturbed and you are in sorrow all the time because of that. But Baba has told us that taking sorrow is a sin. Now, if you keep taking sorrow, what do you become? You become a sorrowful soul. Can you give happiness to anybody then? And the other thing is, the other day somebody was telling me that I'm feeling very suicidal because of my partner's behavior. And that behavior is increasing day by day, and the intensity of violence and abuse in that behavior is increasing day by day. So I told them that you see that this is a karmic bondage. What does a karmic bondage mean? You are in a situation where you think that your only option is taking sorrow, or your only option is giving sorrow. Sometimes you feel that if this person is shouting so much, I have to shout at least, this much to handle the situation. But then you are also shouting back, and that is creating a sin. So karmic bondage is a situation where you think you are so bound by the situation to give sorrow and take sorrow that you don't realize this is a sin. And other vikarma also, maybe lust, or not just anger or sorrow, but you are doing any vikarma because of that bondage. Maybe you are in an office where there is bribe and there is wrongdoing, and then you think that I can't help it because this is my situation. But Baba says that when you realize you are in karmic bondage, what do? You keep doing what you can do in Baba's remembrance. So keep making that effort, and when you keep increasing your chart of Baba's remembrance, then slowly that karmic account gets settled. And then, so that when, so Baba today gives a very good example of a balance sheet. And then he says that in case of a businessman, when there is a negative balance sheet, so a lot of debit in his account, then what he does is he keeps paying and paying and paying and paying until it comes to zero. And then it starts changing into a credit. So if we have a lot of karmic bondage, we all do. Everybody, every single child of Baba has a lot of karmic bondage, because 63 births we have been in karmic bondage. So what we do is we keep increasing our chart of remembrance while doing everything. And we don't know, because until it changes into positive, you can't see it. But it's getting settled slowly, gradually. And then one fine day you realize that it has gone to positive. And then you can see that, yes, that circumstance or that situation or that physical illness, or it's not troubling you anymore. It's not become a burden anymore. And Baba today talks about, the karmic bondages that we faced in the beginning of the yajna. So at that time there was a lot of deformation. Yes, there was a lot of upheaval, and in the beginning of the yajna, the karmic settlement came through the people of the world. Yes, so they were the ones who were against us. And Baba said that at that time, according to Baba's Srimad, the souls in the yajna continued their effort and kept increasing their yoga chart. Yes, and those bondages slowly finished. Now you see that situation is not there anymore, right? And then there were other bondages, like bondages that come from family members. Yes, so Baba says, I think that in these days, family members also don't stop you from listening to Brahma Kumari's classes or meditating. Because And I have seen children who tell me that, Didi, when I miss a class or I don't meditate, my spouse tells me, or my child tells me, why did you miss your meditation today? Or why are you not doing your class today? Because these days, that situation has kind of turned. In some cases, it is still there, but in most cases, it has shifted. And that's also because of this, huge fire of remembrance that souls have created through their constant remembrance of Baba. But in my experience, in these times, the greatest challenges of karmic bondage come from your own sanskars. And our own sanskars are so impure right now that, when we come to the yajna, no other obstacles from outside, but our own sanskars are such that we can't be consistent, we are lazy, we are careless, or there is lot of overthinking, or there is lot of this tendency of fear and worry. So there are lots of sanskars. Now Baba teaches one very beautiful thing today, patience. Yes, so Baba says that have patience, and even with yourself you need a lot of patience. So until we came to Baba, we were managing very well with blame. Blame is very good. You managed with blame until you come to Baba, because I'm very good, this person is provoking me, this thing is disturbing me, this situation is bad, the government is bad, the world is bad. So all that was good enough for us, and it boosted our ego well, because we thought, okay, it's because of those others, I have no problem. But when we come to Baba, I start realizing that I'm the problem, I have the problem. So it is my sanskar that is getting triggered. And then what happens is, it hurts my ego to think that I have a bad sanskar. Yes, does it not? When you realize, so for many years I didn't realize I had jealousy, and when I realized, it was very difficult to accept it. It hurt my ego like anything to think that I have jealousy, and let alone overcoming it. Even acknowledging that I have it was very, very difficult. But it hurts our ego badly to realize that I have a weak sanskar, and my sanskar is my problem. And then Baba says that you must not get impatient. I want to get rid of this today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. No. Baba says you have to have a lot of patience. And Baba today gives an example that there are some diseases which go away in 2 days. There are some which take 2 years. And it depends on the disease. You can't have a choice about that. You want your cancer to go away in a day, it doesn't. There are many diseases in the world today which never go away until you leave the body. So they stay with you until this body goes. So Baba says, similarly, there are some sanskars which you recognize that this is my sanskar, but it doesn't go away in a day. And even if you pledge, you promise Baba, I'm not going to do this from today, from tomorrow, it just doesn't go away. And then what happens is, because we always, so in the beginning at least, for many years, we practice spirituality with ego. So how do we practice spirituality with ego? So I am bad, and that is bad, and I want to be good, and that is what I want to be, and I want to be that fast. But spirituality cannot be practiced with ego. Spirituality is practiced with a lot of surrender. Surrender to Baba, surrender to drama. You understand that after 5,000 years, this day has come when Baba has come, and it is the stage of ascent. And I surrender to Baba, I surrender to drama, I keep doing the work that Baba has given me the ability and the knowledge to do in Sangam Yuga. So spiritual work is something that I did not have the knowledge about nor the power to do before Baba. But now I have the knowledge and the power to do spiritual work, both internal and in terms of seva. So I keep doing that with patience and positivity. And then slowly, gradually, you realize that your own sanskars have also started changing, and those karmic bondages are also going away. And if you are in hurry, so you know what impatience does. So earlier I used to be very impatient about my spiritual journey, and I used to always say, this sanskar is not going away and it is upsetting me and I don't like it and this and that. And then Bhai always asked me one question. So what do you have to do if this goes away? What do you have to do if it doesn't go away? You have to do the same thing. Get up at Amrit Vela, read Murli, go to work, remember Baba. Yes, eat pure food, do seva. That's all, right? So when your life doesn't change in either situations, what is the impatience about? You have surrendered your life to Baba. You keep doing your work, and then it goes away when it goes away. So Baba says, move with a lot of surrender, move with a lot of patience. Every karmic account will settle. But you don't think about them. You just understand that I don't have to deviate from my effort. So, Baba has given us a lifestyle. Baba has given us a plan for my body, mind and wealth. Baba says, you stick to that. Keep doing seva, keep doing, keep practicing spiritual disciplines, keep practicing spiritual attitude and vision. And as much as you keep doing that, slowly, gradually, all your karmic bondages will finish and we will go back home. So this is something. And then Baba in the Murli today says that in the blessing, Baba says, you are, we are knowledgeful souls. So we know ourselves, we know Baba, we know the drama, but do we know Maya? Or we are knowledgeful about ourselves, Baba, drama and no Maya. And then you get deceived by Maya because you're not knowledgeful about Maya. So Baba says, you see, Maya, so Maya's biggest tool, Maya has two big tools, attraction and fear. Yes, sometimes Maya lures you, sometimes Maya scares you. Yes, but so you see, when you go and watch a movie, which you don't do now, but you did earlier. So when you did that, what do you go and watch? Attraction and fear. Yes? So that's what you watch. That which is luring or that which is scaring. Now Baba says, in your life, you have so much entertainment from Maya. Why do you have to go to the theater? But you like the same thing in the theater because you are a detached observer there. You know it is happening there and you are sitting here. Yes? And do you realize there are some times when you get up from your seat, in your consciousness, and you enter the screen and you start playing a role with them. So even in the theater, you don't stay detached all the time. And that is why even in the theater, people laugh and cry and get sad and get violent. So they feel rage and anger, and they feel violent, and they feel scared, and they feel, emotional, and they feel very happy and romantic even while sitting in the theater. Why? Because you don't stay detached. But until a point, so when you enter the theater, until some time you're sitting detached on your seat and watching it on the screen, and then you slowly get attached to it because that's your sanskar. Attachment is your sanskar. But Baba says, can't you do the same thing, sitting on your seat of soul consciousness with Baba in a very powerful state, knowledgeful state, and watch everything that's going in and around you, even if it's in the body, like a drama. And Maya is giving you so much entertainment because Maya is turning everything upside down, sometimes, giving you unpredictable twists and turns, and giving scenes of attractions and scenes of fear. And when you watch everything like a detached observer with Baba, how can you do that? Because you know the end. Yes? See, when you watch a movie for the first time, it is very hard to stay detached even in the movie. You get caught up. But once you know the end, then you can't have the same emotions in that movie. So Baba says, I have told you the beginning, middle and end. And where is it all going to end? It is all going to end with you being the winner and going to Satyug. So you don't have to worry about what's happening in the moment. So anything that's going on in the body in the moment or in and around you, you keep sitting with Baba, playing your spiritual duty, and then slowly, gradually, you are reaching the end. So don't get caught up in these attractive and scary scenes set by Maya, because now you are the child of the Creator. You are more knowledgeful than, Maya. So you are knowledgeful about Maya, and when you are knowledgeful about something, then you are definitely more powerful than that. So you see that today, with the knowledge of science, man became more powerful than nature. Yes, he could protect himself from nature because he knew the nature of nature. Similarly, if we know the nature of Maya, Ma Baba has given us, in every Murli, Baba tells us something or the other about Maya. And I just mentioned two facets, attraction and fear, but there are many kinds of Maya. Loklaj is one Maya, yes? What will people say? Yes, or, I lost my honor, I lost my dignity. So, all this thing, or when your ego gets attacked, you feel like you lost your honor, but it's not honor that you lost, it's your ego that got battered. So, Baba says that when you recognize Maya, because I am every day telling you about what Maya is and what Maya does and how it plays with your mind. And then when you recognize Maya, sit on the seat of knowledge with Baba and look at the game that Maya is, giving you, then you feel entertained, not disturbed by it. And then, just like every day you do, you apply some kajal to your eyes or you tie your hair or something. So Baba gives some shringar for our, for our mind, my awareness, and my mouth. So Baba says that you be very calm in your mind. So adorn your mind with calmness, your buddhi with mercy, and your mouth with sweetness. So Baba gives us the makeup for our inner self, and Baba says apply the the powder and the ointment of calmness on your mind, of mercy in your buddhi, and in your mouth there should be sweetness. So now we'll meditate and we will apply this makeup. Okay, Om Shanti.